net exam, whether you want to qualify for the only for the assistant professorship or for the JRF, for both the categories, this is a total 300 marks examination, where paper 1 has 50 questions of 100 marks, that is 2 marks each per question, and paper 2, which is a specialization paper, it has 100 questions in total for 200 marks each with no negative marking. So total 300 marks examination is there, and for that the time limit, the fourth section, if you can see over here, it is a 3-hour examination for 300 questions you have to solve, and it is a continuous 3-hour examination. Both the papers are simultaneously made available to you online on their centers, and without the break, continuously you have to solve all the 300 questions. So this is also just broad technical details, broad framework of the outline of the examination. Moving ahead, there are certain do's and don'ts, in my opinion, that you should take into consideration if you want to pursue this examination. I would first talk about certain do's that you need to consider and focus on. First one is, you need to choose your specialization wisely and in advance. If you want to pursue a career in one of the areas that I discussed right now, then choose your specialization wisely. It may sometimes happen that if you are doing a dual specialization for your postgraduate program, then you may be eligible for applying or appearing for any one of the 2 subjects. Then in that case, you need to select, you need to check, give a reality check to yourself. You need to check your keen interest and then select the subject for the specialization, whether it can be management or whether it has to be computer applications or commerce, economics, HRM, finance, whatever it is. Do it well in advance and do it wisely. If you are eligible for more than one subject, then take it wisely, do it wisely and in advance. Moving ahead, the second pointer that I have written over here is strategic studying right from the first year itself. So the second paper especially, which is the paper of specialization, this is nothing, the syllabus of paper 2 is nothing but whatever you study from year 1 of your undergraduate program till the second year of your postgraduate program. Whatever number of courses you study and whatever topics and subtopics are covered, the entire section, the entire chunk is a part of the syllabus for paper 2. So if you select your specialization, if you aim for it right from the beginning, you already know that what you are supposed to keep, what you're supposed to study. It will help to strengthen your core, that is your academics, the curriculum. And you need to have a strong academic base if you want to appear for such kind of competitive examinations. Okay, so strategic studying from year 1 itself is a extremely important thing that you need to focus on if you want to clear the examination within time and without getting into that loop of appearing for the examination again and again and again, attempts over attempts over attempts. If you want to avoid that, start strategic studying from year 1 itself. And the third pointer is work on techniques. If your core is strong, if you have a strong academic base, then for qualifying for such kind of competitive examinations, you need to work on various techniques. This is a competitive exam. So along with hard work, smart work is something that would prove to be a catalyst if you want to clear it well within the time frame that you have decided for yourself. So then, unless your core is strong, unless your academic base, your curriculum is strong, it is not worth it working on the techniques. Over here, I would just like to quote an example where for this third pointer, that is working on technique. See, I would take an example of a sports game, that is, I would like to take an example of cricket. Cricket is a game, irrespective of a format, test match, T20, ODI, or commercial leagues like IPL. Cricket, the core, it remains the same. The game remains the same, rules remain the same, everything else remains the same. The format changes, and because the format changes, the techniques change. A test match requires a separate skill set, a different technique as compared to ODI and as compared to T20 matches. So the cricket, the core is your academics, is your curriculum that you study from year one of your undergraduate till the second year of your postgraduate. You need to have a strong core if you want to play around with the techniques. If your core is strong, then you can play around with the techniques. Like, for example, elimination technique is there, or categorizing the chapters into A, B, and C according to the weightage of the weightage the examination gives, or reverse studying technique is there. I wouldn't go into detail over here because these are all very specific things. But if you are working on techniques is extremely important, and it is possible only if your core and academic base is strong. Okay, so these are the certain do's that you definitely need to consider. Now there are certain don'ts in my opinion as well. That is, first one is don't wait for the last moment. If you want to clear this examination, please don't wait for the last moment. Begin studying as soon as possible. Right in the first year, if you try to decide this, if you try to decide to take up this exam, then start studying. You already know that the syllabus of paper 2 in the net examination consists of all topics and subtopics right from the first year. Then why would you not take your courses seriously right from the first year? Take it seriously, start studying as soon as possible. Secondly, detailing. Now, I said in the previous slide that you need to have a strong core academic base, that you do it till you complete your graduation or post graduation. But then once you decide to opt for this examination, you have to change your technique. You can't appear with an approach for the test match or technique of the test match for the T20s. The technique has to change. It is a fast paced examination, so detailing should be done while studying only for certain specific areas and where it is extremely required. Do not keep lingering around one topic or subtopic where in 300 questions, one or two questions you might get on that topic. But if you keep lingering around over there, then that's not worth it. So you have to do some smart work as well over here along with hard work. So detailing only if required and wherever necessary. So that is a strict no. Then don't stop. If you have decided, if you are hellbound on clearing the examination, it is a competitive exam, it is a national level exam, it is bound to have a particular level of difficulty attached to it. But if you are hellbound on doing it and if you have decided it, then don't stop. If you don't stop and if you try to achieve the consistency, which is a catalyst, you will be definitely able to achieve a perfect mix of hard work, smart work, skill, technique. And if you add consistency to it, you will definitely be successful in creating a mix which will definitely work for you, and you will be able to clear this examination well within the time frame that you have decided for yourself. Okay, so these were certain don'ts in my opinion that you should consider if you are opting for this examination. And lastly, I would like to I have written your certain quick references for you students. That is this: ugcnet.nta.nic.in is the official website of NTA. Please visit the website, and there are various, go through the website once so that you get to know a lot of different areas, notices, whatever it is. Later on, I have given you the detail in the other detail section. The second link is about the FAQs. There are certain frequently asked questions or certain common doubts are there in our minds. So I have given a link of FAQs. If you have certain doubts, just visit this link once so that you can just go through the FAQs, and if you have common questions, you can get answers over there. And thirdly, the syllabus for the examination. There are various study materials available in the market. There are various e-materials also available on the web. But instead of that, instead of going for it initially, if you just visit their official website and if you just try to get the syllabus, download the syllabus from that website, you will get the latest syllabus with all the minute changes. Every year, or probably after 3 to 4 years, there are certain minute changes that are added in, especially in the specialization subjects. And these books are printed in bulk, so sometimes these changes are not included if it is an old edition. And as a result of which, if you visit their official website for the syllabus, download the syllabus from there, then you have that is an authentic source instead of referring for some other material. So these are certain quick references that I would want you to look after if you have an interest and if you're going to pursue the same. So that was it from my side. Thank you very much for the patient listening and best wishes. And please feel free to contact me if you have any specific doubts. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ashlesha madam. It was excellent presentation. Can you just take back your presentation on the slide of what are the opportunities? Because
Yes, yes, ma'am.
once again, can you, if you can explain, we can keep it in the recording form as well. Yes, please. Will you
Yes,
explain the slides once again?
yes,
What are the
ma'am.
job opportunities?
Yes, ma'am. So there are different kinds of jobs that you can get after qualifying the NET examination. I have categorized this into four sections. First one is if you are qualified only as an assistant professor, that is only NET examination if you qualify for, then the most preferred job opportunity is for applying for the post of assistant professorship or lecturership in any Indian university. This is a national level examination, so across India in any university or any educational institution, you can apply for the post of assistant professorship or lecturership. Then, depending on your skill set, again, I am repeating this, depending on your skill set and your knowledge, you might get an opportunity to teach the undergraduates or postgraduates or trained professional students. Second section is if you have an interest in research, and that is why if you have applied for the JRF and you have qualified the junior research fellowship, then you can aim for various research projects that are ongoing in various institutions, and you can get an opportunity over there to work as a junior research fellow or project fellow or project assistant, associate, author, or project manager. Over here again, it depends on the experience you have, the skill set you have, the knowledge base you have, how strong your core is. Depending on that, all of these opportunities are available. Third section is generally 80% of the times it is NET is qualified for assistant professorship only, but also after qualifying the NET examination there are certain other academic departments also, especially if you take up uncommon subjects like computer applications after completing your MCA, then you can get an opportunity to work as an IP lead, lab trainer, center manager. Or if you start freelancing and if you're an entrepreneur naturally, then you can go for freelancing also, or you can as a coaching tutor, I mean, and then you can get an opportunity as guest faculties also in various institutions. So these are other academic departments where you can explore after clearing your NET examination. And the fourth section is there are certain common PSUs which require people who have qualified the NET examination in one of the 5 6 areas that I have noted over here. These are the most common specializations that are required by these public sector units. However, this NET examination, if you want to do a job in a public sector unit, qualifying the NET or having the certificate of qualification is only an add on. So you need to qualify, that is, you need to have an MBA or an equivalent qualification first. And along with that, if you have this, that is UGC NET, then you stand a strong chance of applying in the PSUs and getting and grabbing the opportunity to work with the public sector units. So if you already are doing a specialization in one of it, then aim for it. Please go and visit these websites also, especially ONGC. It keeps on putting out advertisements with requirements of candidates having qualified the NET examination, especially in management, HRM, and finance. They constantly, frequently keep on putting out the advertisements like that. So you can just visit the websites for that. So this was about the kinds of jobs that might be available. Ma'am, is it sufficient? Do I need to add anything else?
No, thank you very much. Because even for me, the UGC NET jobs in PSU was I was unaware. So thank you very much for adding a different information to the stereotype information of NetSet. Thank you very much for guiding our students on competitive examination, NetSet that they can pursue after their post graduation. Now I request Saurabh Joshi sir to explain the opportunities in banking sector. Over to Saurabh Joshi sir. Thank you.
Good morning, students. Good morning, Tanuja Devi ma'am. First of all, I would like to thank Tanuja Devi ma'am and Shri Sumit Gaikwad sir for giving me an opportunity to give some information on the other banking aspects and also the CA, CS and CMA examinations. So firstly, we will be seeing the information on the other banking aspects apart from the nationalized and public sector banks. So we'll just quickly go through the slides. I'll just share the screen. शेअरचं ते काही आलंच नाही. ओपन केलं तुम्ही. ओपन कर. ओके. इथे केलं ओपन. क्लोजच करायला.
Just a moment, students.
सेटिंग. थँक्यू सर.
पण मला इथे कळायचं ना तुमचा आवाज
मी तेच म्हणलं असं का होतंय. Yes.
थोडं खाली बस. Yes. Your face is not this.
आता
अजून थोडंसं फिरतं.
दिसते स्क्रीन म्हणून.
थोडं कॅमेरा हे
हो.
पुढे या. पुढे जा.
हा, लॅपटॉप पुढे आहे. मॅम दिसते. Okay, now who can apply for the CA Foundation course? Now, according to the ICAI Institute, that is the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, now they have made a new provision that after passing the 10th board examination, a student can register for the CA Foundation course. Okay, but he can only give the CA Foundation exam after passing his 12th examination or have appeared for the 12th board examination, that is the HSC board or the other boards which are present in India. Okay. Now next, moving ahead is when to apply. Now this registration is to be done on or before the 1st January for the examinations to be held in the month of May, June. Then on or before 1st July for the examinations to be held in the month of November, December. Okay. So if a student want to give the foundation exam in the month of May, June, he has to register and apply before or on or before the 1st January. And if he is supposed to give or he wants to give the foundation examination in the month of November, December, then the student has to apply on or before the 1st July. Okay. So this was about when to apply. Now next is, when can a student appear for the foundation exam? After appearing or passing the 12th board examination, a student is eligible to appear for the CA foundation exam. Okay. Okay. Now moving on to the next slide regarding the CA foundation. Now this CA foundation is a partially subjective and a partially objective test consisting of following 4 papers. Now each of these papers is of 100 marks. The first name of the subject, that is the first paper, is the principles and practices of accounting. It includes all the practices and basics of accounting. It is a subjective paper. Then second is the business laws and the business correspondence and reporting related to the business laws and business communication. This is also a subjective paper. Then the third one is the business mathematics, logical reasoning and statistics. So this is having a more focus on the mathematics, reasoning and quantitative segment. Now, if you see the difference, the first 2 papers are of a subjective nature and the third and fourth are of the objective nature. So it's a combination of subjective and objective. And the last paper in the CA foundation is the business economics and business and commercial knowledge. Okay. And this is also the objective paper. So this is about the course pattern for the CA foundation exam. Then moving ahead, the most important thing, the passing requirement for the foundation. Now, a student, in order to qualify the CA foundation exam, must secure 40% marks in each paper and aggregate 50% marks in all the papers together. म्हणजे जर तुम्हाला CA फाउंडेशन क्वालिफाय व्हायचं असेल तर प्रत्येक सब्जेक्ट मध्ये तुम्हाला इंडिव्हिज्युअली 40 मार्क्स सिक्युअर करावे लागतील आणि त्यांची टोटल 50% व्हायला पाहिजे. ओके. Now regarding the academic part of the CA foundation, now the ICAI Institute, which is located near Bibbewadi, that is the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, they also take their classes. Now currently virtual coaching classes are also available and given by the institute, especially from the COVID period. Then they also offer the recorded lectures and they also offer the e-books as a study material for the foundation students. Apart from the CA Institute classes, there are also certain private coaching classes which the students join. So you can opt for any, okay, as per the feasibility and your thinking. So this was about the CA Foundation, its subjects, and most importantly, the passing requirements. Okay. Okay. Now we'll just move ahead. Okay, so we have completed the basic part, that is the CA foundation part. Now, after passing the foundation, the student is eligible to enroll for the CA intermediate part, which is also called as the level 2. It is the in-between part of the chartered accountancy course. Now, if you see there carefully, there are two methods of registering for the intermediate course. Either you can go through by passing the foundation examination, or you can also enroll to the intermediate course through the direct entry method. Okay, now what is a direct entry method? Direct entry method is basically means that there is no need to appear for the foundation examination. A student, in order to enroll for the intermediate course through the direct entry method, is not required to appear for the foundation examination. Okay. But what is the eligibility for direct entry? There are certain conditions for getting the entry directly to the intermediate course. The first is a student must be a commerce graduate, that is a BCom, or the postgraduate by obtaining minimum 55% marks. म्हणजे इथे तुम्ही BCom किंवा पोस्ट ग्रॅज्युएट पाहिजे आणि त्यांची मिनिमम रिक्वायरमेंट जी आहे पासिंगची, minimum requirement is you have to secure 55% marks. Then only you are eligible for getting registration in intermediate course through direct entry. And the second condition is, or other graduates apart from the BCom and other postgraduates like MSc or any other postgraduates, they are required to secure at least 60% marks in their graduation or post-graduation to enroll for the intermediate course. Okay, so these are the two ways through which you can register for the intermediate course. First is after passing the foundation examination, and second is direct entry, but for that you are required to be a graduate. Okay, now the next part in this is that after getting the registered, after being registered as an intermediate in the intermediate course, there is a 4 weeks integrated course of the information technology and soft skills before commencement of the articleship. Now, basically, what is an articleship? Articleship is basically that a student who is pursuing chartered accountant, he has to work under a practicing chartered accountant or in chartered accountancy company, and he has to take the practical experience for minimum 3 years. Then only he is eligible to become a CA. Okay. Practical training and articleship is the one and the same thing. Okay. Fine. Okay, we'll just move ahead now. Now see, now the next slide is about how to, when to apply and how to apply for the intermediate examination. Now, if you are a foundation pass students and you want to register or apply for the intermediate course, then you can apply it before the 1st March for appearing in the May examination, and before 1st September for appearing in the November examination. This is for the foundation pass students. Then next category is for the direct entry students. If you are entered directly or through the direct entry route for intermediate course, then you can apply for the intermediate examination before 1st February in order to appear for the May examination, and before 1st August for appearing in November examination. So this was about the direct entry route, and there is one more concept in this is which is called as the provisional registration. Okay, now what is a provisional registration? Now, according to this clause of ICAI, the students who are in the last year of their graduation, that is, who are studying in their last year of the graduation, they are also eligible to register for this intermediate course, but provisionally under the direct entry scheme. म्हणजे जर तुम्ही शेवटच्या वर्षी असाल बीकॉमला किंवा इतर याला, तर तुम्ही CA इंटरमिजिएटला डायरेक्ट एंट्री रूट थ्रू अप्लाय आणि रजिस्टर करू शकता. पण त्याच्यानंतर आफ्टर पासिंग ऑफ द ग्रॅज्युएट एक्झाम then you are required to submit the necessary documents and mark sheets to the CA Institute. Then only your registration is actually confirmed. Okay, so this is about how to apply and when to apply for the CA Intermediate examination. Okay, okay, now we'll move ahead. Now we'll see the subjects which are there in the CA Intermediate examination. Now the CA Intermediate exam total consists of two groups, means there are two groups in the CA Intermediate examination. Okay, now the first each group has 4 papers. Okay, each paper is for 100 marks. यातला जो प्रत्येक पेपर आहे प्रत्येक ग्रुप मधला तो 100 मार्कांसाठी असतो. So if you consider 8 papers including both the groups, you will be facing 800 marks. Okay, now if we consider the first group, there are 4 papers in the first group. First is the accounting, the second paper is the corporate and other laws, the third is cost and management accounting, and fourth is taxation. So this is the first group of the CA Intermediate examination. So if we see, the first group of the CA Intermediate focuses on the accounting part, the laws part, the costing and management accounting, and also the taxation part. Now the second group, it also consists of 4 papers of 100 marks each. First is the advanced accounting, next is the auditing and assurance, third is the enterprise information system, and next is the strategic management. And next is the last paper in this group, that is the fourth paper, is the financial management and economics for finance. So basically there are two groups in the CA Intermediate examination. Okay, so you can either give both the groups together, or you can also give one by one group. Means first you can appear for the group 1, then after qualifying for a group 1, you can also appear for the group 2 examination as per your feasibility. Okay, or if you want, you are also able to appear for both the groups together. तुम्हाला असं वाटलं तर तुम्ही आधी एका ग्रुपची एक्झाम देऊ शकता, नंतर दुसऱ्या ग्रुपची एक्झाम देऊ शकता, किंवा जर तेवढा कॉन्फिडन्स वाटत असेल तर तुम्ही दोन्ही ग्रुप्स एकदम अपियर करू शकता. ओके, दिस डिपेंड्स अपॉन युअर डेडिकेशन, कमिटमेंट अँड ऑफ कोर्स स्टडी. ओके, so these were the subjects for the CA Intermediate exam, that is the middle level for the CA Intermediate. Now next part is the last part of the CA, which is called as the CA final examination. Now in this there are certain things which you must note. Now there is a 4 weeks integrated course on information technology and soft skills, which is required by the student to be completed after registration of the intermediate and before commencing the practical training. म्हणजे तुमचं इंटरमिजिएटला रजिस्ट्रेशन झाल्यानंतर आणि तुमचं जे प्रॅक्टिकल ट्रेनिंग आहे ते सुरू व्हायच्या आधी तुम्हाला हा जो एक कोर्स आहे related to IT and soft skills, you have to complete it compulsorily and you have to get the certificate from the CA Institute. आणि 4 weeks म्हणजे किती, हा कोर्स जो आहे तो 1 महिन्यासाठी आहे. Now after that the next flow is, then you are required to register for the practical training of 3 years on passing either or both the groups of intermediate course. म्हणजे तुम्ही आर्टिकलशिप साठी रजिस्टर कधी करू शकता, जर तुम्ही इंटरमिजिएट कोर्सचा एक ग्रुप क्लिअर केला किंवा दोन्ही क्लिअर केले, तर त्याच्यानंतर तुम्ही प्रॅक्टिकल ट्रेनिंग म्हणजेच आर्टिकलशिप साठी तुम्ही रजिस्टर करू शकता कुठल्या पण चार्टर्ड अकाउंटंटच्या अंडर. ओके, then the next flow is, after qualifying both groups of intermediate, the students are eligible to register for final course. म्हणजे जर तुम्ही दोन्ही ग्रुप क्लिअर केले, ग्रुप 1 आणि ग्रुप 2 इंटरमिजिएट एक्झाम्सचे, तर तुम्ही मग फायनल कोर्स साठी एलिजिबल आहात. ओके, okay, now the next part in this is, the next flow is rather, after completing the 3 years practical training and qualifying both groups of the final examination, you can be the member of Association of Chartered Accountants of India. म्हणजे जर तुम्ही फायनलचे पण दोन्ही ग्रुप क्लिअर केले आणि प्रॅक्टिकल ट्रेनिंग पण कम्प्लीट असेल, then you can apply for the membership of Chartered Accountants of India. Next is Now, a student can register for the final course anytime after passing both the groups of intermediate examination. म्हणजे तुम्ही म्हणाल की आम्ही एक ग्रुप क्लिअर केलेला आहे पण दुसरा अजून व्हायचा आहे, तर त्या केसमध्ये तुम्ही सीए फायनलला रजिस्टर करू शकत नाही. तुमचे इंटरमिजिएटचे जर दोन्ही ग्रुप्स क्लिअर असतील तरच तुम्ही ते फायनलला रजिस्टर करू शकता. ओके. Now the next flow is the student can appear for the final examination during the last 6 months of practical training and after successfully completing the 4 weeks advanced integrated course on information technology and सॉफ्ट स्किल्स. आता जर तुम्ही फर्स्ट बुलेट पॉइंट बघितला आणि लास्ट बुलेट पॉइंट बघितला तर त्याच्यात एक मायनर डिफरन्स आहे. वरचा जो कोर्स आहे तो इंटिग्रेटेड कोर्स ऑन आयटी अँड सॉफ्ट स्किल्स आहे आणि खाली जो कोर्स आहे तो पण 1 महिन्याचा म्हणजे 4 आठवड्यांचा आहे. बट दॅट इज द ऍडव्हान्स्ड इंटिग्रेटेड कोर्स ऑन आयटी अँड सॉफ्ट स्किल्स. म्हणजे दोन्ही आयटी आणि सॉफ्ट स्किल्सच आहे, पण पहिला थोडा बेसिक आहे आणि त्याच्यानंतरचा जो असतो तो ऍडव्हान्स्ड लेवलचा आहे. ओके. Okay, so this is about the CA final examination. Then moving ahead to the subjects of CA final, the most important part. Again, याच्यात सुद्धा CA final मध्ये तुम्हाला 2 ग्रुप्सला अपियर व्हावं लागतं, ग्रुप ए आणि ग्रुप बी. Like given in the slide, each paper is for 100 marks, group A and group B. Again, there are 4 subjects in group A and 4 subjects in group B. Okay. Now the talking about the subjects in the group A, the first is financial reporting, then is the strategic financial management, then comes the advanced auditing and professional ethics, and next is corporate and economic laws. So these are the 4 subjects which are there in the CA final examination. So if you see carefully, this group mainly covers the financial management, the financial reporting, the ethics part and auditing, and of course the laws part. Okay. Then moving on to the second group, that is group B. Again, this group is for 100 marks each. The first subject is the strategic cost management and performance evaluation. Then there is one elective paper. Now out of the given list, a student can choose any one from the below list. म्हणजे खाली जी नावं दिलेली आहेत त्यातलं कुठलं पण तुम्ही तुमच्या चॉईसनी एक पेपर सिलेक्ट करू शकता. त्याच्यात मग कुठले कुठले त्यांनी ऑप्शन्स दिलेले आहेत. विच आर द ऑप्शन्स गिवन बाय देम. वन पेपर इज फॉर रिस्क मॅनेजमेंट, अदर इज फॉर द फायनान्शियल सर्व्हिसेस अँड कॅपिटल मॅनेजमेंट, देन कम्स द इंटरनॅशनल टॅक्सेशन, देन इज द इकॉनॉमिक लॉज, देन इज द ग्लोबल फायनान्शियल रिपोर्टिंग स्टँडर्ड्स, देन कम्स द मल्टी डिसिप्लिनरी केस स्टडी. आता यामध्ये तुम्ही कुठलं पण एक सिलेक्ट करू शकता अकॉर्डिंग टू युअर चॉईस अँड कन्व्हिनियन्स. सो दिस बिकम्स द सेकंड सब्जेक्ट फॉर द ग्रुप बी. ओके. हा तुमचा दुसरा सब्जेक्ट आहे. देन द थर्ड सब्जेक्ट इन द ग्रुप बी, जो तिसरा विषय जो आहे तो डायरेक्ट टॅक्स लॉज अँड इंटरनॅशनल टॅक्सेशन. म्हणजे जर तुम्ही केअरफुली बघितलं तर तिसऱ्या सब्जेक्ट मध्ये सुद्धा इंटरनॅशनल टॅक्सेशन आहे आणि वरती जे इलेक्टिव्ह पेपर्स आहेत त्याच्यामध्ये सुद्धा तुम्ही इंटरनॅशनल टॅक्सेशन चूज करू शकता. So there is so it clearly shows that the institute has given more focus on the taxation and international taxation aspects. Okay. And the last subject under the group B of the CA final examination is the indirect tax laws. Now talking about the passing criteria for the CA intermediate and CA final examination, the rule is the same. In each subject you are required to secure 40% and aggregate you have to secure 50% marks. म्हणजे प्रत्येक विषयात तुम्हाला 40% पडले पाहिजेत 100 पैकी आणि ऍग्रीगेट जर आपण ग्रुपची टोटल बघितली तर ती 50% व्हायला पाहिजे. फॉर एक्झाम्पल जर आपण ग्रुप ए चं बघितलं तर ग्रुप ए जे आहे ते 400 मार्काचा आहे टोटल. तर प्रत्येक जो पेपर आहे 100 मार्काचा त्याच्यात किमान तुम्हाला 40 मार्क पडले पाहिजेत आणि जर टोटल आपण ग्रुपची बघितली म्हणजे 100 into 4 दॅट इज 400, तर आउट ऑफ 400 तुम्हाला 50% मार्क सिक्युअर करणं आवश्यक आहे. म्हणजे 400 पैकी तुम्हाला ऍटलिस्ट 200 मार्क तरी पडायला पाहिजेत आणि प्रत्येक विषयात 40 पडले पाहिजेत तरच तुम्ही तो ग्रुप क्लिअर करू शकता. आणि त्याच्यात काही एक्झेम्पशन्स पण असतात. जर एखाद्या विषयामध्ये 60% किंवा त्याच्यापेक्षा जास्ती कुठल्या सब्जेक्ट मध्ये मार्क्स पडले तर तुम्हाला त्या सब्जेक्ट मधनं एक्झेम्पशन मिळतं. दॅट मीन्स एक्झेम्पशन मीन्स यू आर नॉट रिक्वायर्ड टू give that paper again. Okay. आणि सगळ्यात महत्वाचं याच्यात एटी केटी वगैरे प्रकार असे काही नसतात, याच्यात खूप हार्डवर्क आणि कमिटमेंट लागते. जर एखादा विषय तुमचा राहिला आणि बाकीचे विषय जरी तुमचे पास असतील तर तुम्हाला ते सगळे विषय परत द्यावे लागतात. प्लीज नोट डाऊन दिस पॉइंट. इफ यू फेल इन वन ऑफ द सब्जेक्ट्स इन आयदर ग्रुप, okay, then you are required to give all the subjects of that group or both the groups, even though you have passed in the other group papers. Okay, म्हणजे फॉर एक्झाम्पल जर पहिला ग्रुप घेतला त्यातला एखाद्या विषयामध्ये इन केस अनफॉर्च्युनेटली तुम्ही तो पेपर राहिला, तो तुम्ही फेल झालात आणि बाकीचे जे 3 सब्जेक्ट्स आहेत ग्रुप एचे त्याच्यात जरी तुम्ही पास असाल 40% असाल तरी पण तुम्हाला बाकीचे पण विषय परत अपियर व्हावे, त्या पेपरला अपियर व्हावं लागतं. ओके, दिस इज द मोस्ट इम्पॉर्टंट पार्ट फॉर ऑल दीज प्रोफेशनल एक्झाम्स. ओके, सिमिलरिटी इज ऍप्लिकेबल टू ग्रुप बी ऑल्सो. ओके, आणि जर तुम्ही सीए फायनलचे दोन्ही ग्रुप्स ऍग्रिगेट मध्ये 50% नी क्लिअर केले, देन यू फायनली बिकेम अ चार्टर्ड अकाउंटंट. ओके, आणि मग तुम्ही त्या मेंबरशिप साठी अप्लाय करू शकता. ओके, so this was about the chartered accountancy course and it is a professional examination. Lot of commitment, hard work and sincerity is required. आणि सगळ्यात महत्त्वाचं या कुठल्याही एक्झाम मध्ये एस्पेशली CS आणि CMA पेशन्स ठेवणं खूप आवश्यक असतं. एकदा परीक्षा दिली आणि आपण CA झालो असं होईलच असं नाही. काही जण पटकन क्लिअर होतात, काही जणांना वेळ लागतो. ओके, so please keep these things in mind and do remember. Okay, so now this was about the chartered accountancy course. Now we'll talk about the second professional examination, that is the cost and management accountant. Okay, it is also called as CMA course. Earlier this course was called as the ICWA, that is Institute of Cost and Works Accountants of India. आधी या कोर्सला नाव काय होतं, ICWA, आणि आता त्यांनी नाव चेंज करून काय नाव ठेवलेलं आहे, CMA, दॅट इज कॉस्ट अँड मॅनेजमेंट अकाउंटंट. आता आधीचं जर नाव आपण बघितलं कॉस्ट अँड वर्क्स अकाउंटंट, वर्क्स मीन्स फॅक्टरी, कारखाना. वर्क्स म्हणजे काय, जिथे काहीतरी प्रोडक्शन होतं, मॅन्युफॅक्चरिंग होतं, दॅट इज कॉल्ड वर्क्स. आता त्यांनी थोडंसं वर्क्सचं नाव बदलून त्यांनी मॅनेजमेंट अकाउंटंट केलेलं आहे. ओके, त्याच्यात थोडासा त्यांनी मॅनेजमेंटचा पार्ट इन्क्लूड केलेला आहे. ओके, नाउ अगेन द नेम ऑफ द इन्स्टिट्यूट इज द इन्स्टिट्यूट ऑफ कॉस्ट अकाउंटंट्स ऑफ इंडिया. ओके, आता याचं पुण्यामध्ये ऑफिस कुठे आहे, कर्वेनगर एरियामध्ये आहे CMA भवन. आधी ते सहकारनगर एरियामध्ये होतं. नाव इट इज इन पुणे, इन कर्वेनगर एरिया. Now the website for reference, you can refer this website for the cost and management accountant course, that is www.icmai.in. Okay, this is the website. Now again, this is same as the CA. Again, there are 3 levels of CMA course, that is foundation, intermediate and final. याच्यामध्ये सुद्धा CA सारखं 3 लेवल्स आहेत, फाउंडेशन, इंटरमिजिएट आणि फायनल. ओके, now we'll see one by one for CMA courses. Okay, now first we would talk about the CMA foundation. Again, the name of examination is CMA foundation. Now who is eligible to apply for the CMA foundation? Now here the candidates who have appeared for the class 12th exam, that is the board exam, can fill the form of foundation exam under the प्रोव्हिजनल रजिस्ट्रेशन. आता जर याच्यात तुम्ही केअरफुली नोट केलं CA आणि CMA मध्ये, तर CA मध्ये तुम्ही 10th पास झाल्यानंतर रजिस्ट्रेशन करू शकता CA फाउंडेशनला. पण CMA चं जर बघितलं तर CMA मध्ये 12th एक्झाम अपियर केल्यानंतरच तुम्ही त्याचं रजिस्ट्रेशन करू शकता अंडर द प्रोव्हिजनल क्लॉज. आणि जर तुम्ही 12th एक्झाम पास झालेला असाल तर देन यू कॅन डायरेक्टली confirm the registration under CMA foundation. Okay, now for doing this registration process, the candidates are required to enroll themselves on the official website of the CMA Institute for the enrollment. Enrollment means registration, and the site is www.icmai.in. Okay, Now, most importantly, what are the dates to apply and register for the CMA Foundation course? Now, the last date to register for the June session is 25th February and last date to register for the December session is 31st July. म्हणजे तुम्हाला जर जून मध्ये एक्झाम द्यायची असेल तर तुम्हाला 25 फेब्रुवारी पर्यंत अप्लाय करायला लागतं आणि डिसेंबर मध्ये जर एक्झाम द्यायची असेल तर तुम्हाला 31 जुलै पर्यंत अप्लाय करणं आवश्यक आहे. Okay, and where to apply? They have to apply through the official website of the institute. Okay. Now next is subjects for the CMA Foundation course. Again, it is similar to certain CA. First is the fundamentals of economics and management. Next is the fundamentals of accounting. Next is fundamentals of laws and ethics. Next is fundamentals of business mathematics and statistics. Again, there are 4 papers in this. Each paper consists of 400 marks. Each paper consists of 100 marks. प्रत्येक पेपर जो आहे तो 100 मार्कांसाठी आहे. आणि आता याच्यामध्ये CMA इन्स्टिट्यूटनी काय केलंय, from 2022 they have revised their syllabus and they have given the name as CMA syllabus 2022. And from when this syllabus is applicable, this CMA new syllabus will be effective from August 2022 to appear from June 2023 examination. म्हणजे हा जो नवीन सिलेबस आहे तो ऑगस्ट 2022 पासून ऍप्लिकेबल केला गेलेला आहे. ओके, सो डू रिमेंबर दिस. म्हणजे आता जर तुम्हाला जून 23 मध्ये फाउंडेशन द्यायचे असेल तर तुम्हाला नवीन सिलेबसच्या अंडर ज्यांनी आधी रजिस्ट्रेशन केलेलं नाही त्यांना ते करावं लागेल. आणि जर कोणी आधी फाउंडेशनला रजिस्टर केला असेल तर पुढच्या वर्षी डिसेंबर 2023 पर्यंत तुम्ही जुना जो सिलेबस आहे म्हणजे CMA सिलेबस 2016 त्याच्या थ्रू तुम्ही एक्झाम देऊ शकता. पण जे नव्याने रजिस्ट्रेशन करणार आहेत, जे न्यू किंवा फ्रेश रजिस्ट्रेशन करणार आहेत त्यांना CMA सिलेबस 2022 ऍप्लिकेबल आहे. सो प्लीज डू रिमेंबर दिस. ओके. Okay, now the next part is the CMA Intermediate part. Again, there are 2 ways of registering for CMA Intermediate like the CA. Either you can register after passing the foundation exam or you can enroll through direct entry method. Okay, direct entry means there is no need to appear for the foundation exam. And what is the eligibility for the direct entry? Graduates of any discipline excluding the performing arts and music can register for the CMA Intermediate. म्हणजे इथे CA इतके स्पेसिफिक क्रायटेरियाज नाहीयेत. जे ग्रॅज्युएट्स आहेत ते CMA इंटरमिजिएटला डायरेक्टली रजिस्टर आणि एनरोल होऊ शकतात. ओके. Now the subjects for the CMA Intermediate, again there like the CA there are 2 groups in the CMA Intermediate. जेव्हा तुम्ही दोन्ही ग्रुप्स क्लिअर होतात तेव्हा तुमचं CMA इंटरमिजिएट झालं असं कन्सिडर केलं जातं. प्रत्येक ग्रुपमध्ये 4 पेपर्स आहेत. ओके, बिझनेस लॉज अँड एथिक्स, द फायनान्शियल अकाउंटिंग, डायरेक्ट अँड इनडायरेक्ट टॅक्सेशन अँड कॉस्ट अकाउंटिंग. ग्रुप 2 मध्ये ऑपरेशन्स मॅनेजमेंट अँड स्ट्रॅटेजिक मॅनेजमेंट, कॉर्पोरेट अकाउंटिंग अँड ऑडिटिंग, फायनान्शियल मॅनेजमेंट अँड बिझनेस डेटा अनालिटिक्स अँड मॅनेजमेंट अकाउंटिंग. ओके, हे 2 ग्रुप्स आहेत आणि प्रत्येक ग्रुप मधला प्रत्येक पेपर जो आहे each paper in each group is for 100 marks. Okay, the passing criteria for the CMA Intermediate is same as the CA Intermediate. म्हणजे प्रत्येक पेपर मध्ये प्रत्येक ग्रुपच्या प्रत्येक पेपर मध्ये 40% आणि ऍग्रीगेट मध्ये जर 50% मिळाले, if you secure 40% in each paper and 50% in aggregate, then only you are considered to be a CMA Intermediate, and of course after clearing both the groups. Okay, so this was about the subjects for CMA Intermediate. Now the last level of the CMA is the CMA final examination. Now there are certain criteria regarding the CMA final examination and registration. There is a industry oriented training program of 7 days which is required to be completed before registration for the final. Then a student is required to register for practical training, that is the articleship of 3 years. Out of that, 15 months is mandatory before applying for final examination. Now after qualifying both groups of intermediate, a student can register for final course. Okay, And after qualifying both groups of the final examination, placement program is organized by the institute itself. Okay, म्हणजे जे CMA इन्स्टिट्यूट आहे ते स्वतः प्लेसमेंट प्रोव्हाइड करतं. इव्हन तुम्ही इंटरमिजिएट असाल तरी सुद्धा तुम्हाला प्लेसमेंट म्हणजे जॉब मिळू शकतो आणि CMA फायनल झाल्यावर सुद्धा त्यांचं प्लेसमेंट सपोर्ट आहे. दिस इज अ व्हेरी गुड थिंग डन बाय द CMA इन्स्टिट्यूट की जरी तुम्ही CA इंटरमिजिएट असाल तरी सुद्धा तुम्हाला जॉबची ऑपॉर्च्युनिटी त्यांच्या थ्रू मिळू शकते. यू गेट द जॉब ऑपॉर्च्युनिटी थ्रू द CMA कॅम्पस सपोर्ट, दॅट इज प्लेसमेंट सपोर्ट. ओके. आणि इफ यू वॉन्ट टू बिकम अ मेंबर ऑफ इन्स्टिट्यूट आफ्टर पासिंग द CMA फायनल एक्झाम, 3 years ऑफ वर्किंग एक्सपिरियन्स इज रिक्वायर्ड. म्हणजे तुमची प्रॅक्टिकल ट्रेनिंग आर्टिकलशिप आहे ती 3 वर्ष कंप्लीट व्हायला पाहिजे. ओके. सो दिस इज अबाउट द CMA फायनल. And the last part is of course the okay, now the last part is the subjects for the CMA final. Again there are 4 subjects in each of the group. Okay, you can just go through the subjects. It includes corporate and economic laws, the strategic financial management, direct tax laws and international taxation. And next in the group is cost and management audit, corporate financial reporting, indirect tax laws, and the 4th paper is the elective paper. Out of this list given below, you have to select any one paper. म्हणजे ही जी लिस्ट दिली आहे, खाली जे 3 विषय दिले आहेत त्यातला कुठला तरी एक तुम्ही सिलेक्ट करू शकता. म्हणजे एकूण तुमचे 4 आणि 8 पेपर्स होतात. सो दिस इज अबाउट द सब्जेक्ट्स फॉर CMA फायनल एक्झाम. ओके. Now the next part is of course the CS, that is company secretary. Now the name of institute conducting the exam for CS is of course the Institute of Company Secretaries of India. Its Pune office or Pune chapter is located near Kothurud, near Gananjay Society. Okay, earlier it was near Mukund Nagar. The website you can refer for the CS is www.icsi.edu. Again same, there are 3 levels of CS course. First is the foundation, executive and professional program. Now if you look carefully, there are differences in the words. जर तुम्ही CA आणि CMA मध्ये बघितलं तर तिथे फाउंडेशन, इंटरमिजिएट आणि फायनल असं आहे आणि इथे फाउंडेशन, एक्झिक्युटिव्ह आणि प्रोफेशनल असं आहे. म्हणजे इथली एक्झिक्युटिव्हची जी एक्झाम आहे CST, दॅट इज ऑल्सो कॉल्ड ॲज इंटरमिजिएट, अँड प्रोफेशनल प्रोग्राम इज ऑल्सो कॉल्ड ॲज final exam. Okay. Now next is about the CS foundation. Now this CS foundation exam is also called as the CS executive entrance test. Okay. Now who can apply for this? The students who have passed the 12th board examination. And when can a student apply for this? On or before 31st March for appearing in the December examination in the same year, and on or before 30th September for the June examination. म्हणजे डिसेंबर मध्ये एक्झाम द्यायची असेल तर त्याच्या आधीचा जो 31st मार्च आहे तिथपर्यंत अप्लाय करायला लागतं, आणि जर जून मध्ये द्यायचा असेल तर त्याच्या आधीचा जो सप्टेंबर आहे 30th सप्टेंबर, त्या डेट पर्यंत तुम्हाला अप्लाय करावं लागतं. ओके. Now talking about the subjects for the CS foundation, again there are 4 subjects and this exam is conducted online by the institute. It is a online test. Okay. Now the subjects covered under the CS foundation is the business communication, the legal aptitude and logical reasoning, the economics and business environment, current affairs, and there is a new concept, viva presentation and communication skills. If you look carefully and if you observe the difference, there is no viva presentation and communication skills under the CA course and CMA course. But as it is a CS course, it is more relevant to the communication skills, the language skills, and the legal skills. They have also included a viva presentation skills and communication skills subject. म्हणजे इथे त्यांनी फाउंडेशनलाच वायवा प्रेझेंटेशन ठेवलेलं आहे आणि कम्युनिकेशन स्किल्स ठेवलेलं आहे. ओके. हा एक डिफरन्स तुम्ही नोट करून घ्या. CA आणि CMAच्या फाउंडेशन मध्ये प्रेझेंटेशन, कम्युनिकेशनचं वायवाच नाहीयेत, पण CS फाउंडेशन मध्ये तुम्हाला अपार्ट फ्रॉम द 4 सब्जेक्ट्स तुम्हाला वायवा प्रेझेंटेशन आहे आणि कम्युनिकेशन स्किल्स असतात. देयर इज अ सेपरेट सब्जेक्ट. ओके. सो दीज आर द सब्जेक्ट्स फॉर CS फाउंडेशन कोर्स. Okay, now moving on is the नेक्स्ट इज द CS एक्झिक्युटिव्ह प्रोग्राम. नाव CS एक्झिक्युटिव्ह म्हणजेच काय, इंटरमिजिएट प्रोग्राम. इथे फक्त त्यांनी शब्द चेंज केलेले आहेत, वर्डिंग चेंज केलंय. एक्झिक्युटिव्ह प्रोग्राम मीन्स इंटरमिजिएट प्रोग्राम. Now who can apply for this executive or intermediate program? The students who have passed either the CS executive entrance test, that is the CS foundation, or the graduates with minimum 50% marks or postgraduates can apply for the executive, that is the intermediate program. Okay. Now when it can be applied, on or before 31st May for appearing in both modules. Okay. Then if a student wants to appear in a single module for appearing in the December examination, he can do it so by registering before 31st July. If the student wants to appear in both the modules in the June examination, he can do so by registering on or before 30th November. Okay. And if the student wants to give both the modules, that is both examinations in the same year, that is December, that is June and December, then he can also apply before 31st January. Okay. Then moving ahead, the subjects in the executive program, like again, same, there are 4 subjects in each of the group. Here the group is called as the module. Module 1, module 2 म्हणजे काय, पहिला ग्रुप आणि दुसरा ग्रुप. Each paper is for 100 marks. Okay. Now what are the subjects in the CS executive program? The jurisprudence, interpretation and general laws, then the company law, then setting up of business entities and closure. Next is tax laws. मग इथे जर तुम्ही नोटीस केलं तर सगळा फोकस कुठल्या याच्यावर आहे, लॉज वर आणि लॉज वर आहे. आणि जर दुसरं मॉड्यूल बघितलं, इफ वी सी द सेकंड मॉड्यूल, इट कन्सिस्ट ऑफ द कॉर्पोरेट अँड मॅनेजमेंट अकाउंटिंग, द सिक्युरिटी लॉज अँड कॅपिटल मार्केट्स, then economic, business and commercial laws, and next is financial and strategic management. Okay. So this is the 800 marks paper. The passing criteria is same as the CA and CMA. You have to secure 40% in each subject and aggregate 50% in all the subjects together in order to become a CS executive. Okay. And lastly, the CS professional, which is also called as the CS final exam. Professional means CS final exam. Then who can apply for the CS professional course? The students who have passed the CS executive program, of course, are eligible to register for the CS professional. म्हणजे जर तुमचे CS executive चे दोन्ही subjects clear झाले, दोन्ही groups clear झाले, then you are eligible for CS professional programs. Okay. And for appearing to this or making registration, you can apply on or before 31st May for appearing in both modules. The dates are same as the CS executive programs. जसं CS executive programs ला register करण्यासाठी ज्या dates असतात, त्याच same dates इथे applicable आहेत. Okay. Now the subjects of the CS professional program. Now if you carefully notice, in the CA and CMA final examination, there are 2 groups. For CA final also there are 2 groups. For CMA final also there are 2 groups. But if you observe in CS professional programs, there are 3 groups or 3 modules. CA final ला 2 group आहेत, CMA final ला 2 group आहेत, आणि CS professional ला मात्र 3 groups आहेत. ओके. पण जसं आपण मागे बघितलं, CA आणि CMA मध्ये प्रत्येक ग्रुपला 4 पेपर्स आहेत. इथे जरी 3 ग्रुप्स असले तरी प्रत्येक ग्रुप मध्ये इथे किती पेपर्स आहेत, 3च पेपर आहेत. ओके. सो दीज आर द सब्जेक्ट्स फॉर दी CS प्रोफेशनल प्रोग्राम. आणि जो थर्ड ग्रुप आहे त्याच्यात जो तिसरा सब्जेक्ट आहे तो इलेक्टिव्ह पेपर आहे. जी लिस्ट दिलेली आहे त्याच्यातनं तुम्ही कुठला पण एक चॉईस करू शकता. यू हॅव टू ऑप्ट फॉर एनी वन सब्जेक्ट फ्रॉम द बिलो गिवन लिस्ट. सो इन ऑल देर आर 3 ग्रुप्स for the CS professional program, and if you are able to clear all the 3 groups, then you finally become a company secretary. Okay. So there is a difference in CA final and CMA final. There are 2 groups, but in CS final, that is CS professional, there are 3 groups or 3 modules. Okay. So this was about the CS professional, that is CS final examination and its subjects. Now next, most importantly, what are the areas of opportunities which are available if you become either a chartered accountant or a company secretary or a cost and management accountant. Now chartered accountancy course mainly focuses on the auditing part, most importantly the taxation part, and of course the accounting part. So if you become a chartered accountant, you can either work in the banks or the companies and also the PSUs, and you can also do your own practice. Okay, and most importantly, CAs are also hired in the big fours. Okay, that is the big four audit firms. What are these? Which are these big four audit firms? Ernst and Young is the first, then comes the KPMG, then next comes the Deloitte. Okay, and fourth one is the PwC, that is Price Waterhouse Keepers. These are the four audit firms which are considered to be the big four audit firms. म्हणजे जे लोक सीए होतात त्यांना एक अम्बिशन असतं की कुठल्या तरी एका आउट ऑफ द बिग फोर एका ऑडिट फर्म्स मध्ये प्लेस व्हायचं. ओके, देन टॉकिंग अबाउट द कंपनी सेक्रेटरी पार्ट. Now there is a clause: every private limited company having the share capital of 10 crores or more and every listed company and public company have to appoint a full-time company secretary as per the Companies Act 1956 and 2013. Okay, next is starting your own independent practice. You can also do your independent practice. And next is the cost and management accountant. Now in a CMA also you can do your own practice, especially specifically in the area of cost audit, and you can also get job opportunities in the public sector undertakings like ONGCs, JNPA. म्हणजे जे पब्लिक सेक्टर ऑर्गनायझेशन्स आहेत, जे गव्हर्नमेंट ऑर्गनायझेशन्स आहेत, तिथे तुम्हाला स्पेसिफिकली ॲज अ CMA प्लेसमेंट किंवा जॉब मिळू शकतो. आणि कॉस्ट ऑडिट जो एरिया आहे दॅट इज एक्सक्लुझिव्हली फॉर CMA. म्हणजे जे कॉस्ट ऑडिट असतं ते फक्त CMA लोक करू शकतात. इवन अ चार्टर्ड अकाउंटंट कॅनॉट डू अ कॉस्ट ऑडिट. आणि CA ला कुठला अधिकार असतो? टॅक्स ऑडिट करण्याचा अधिकार असतो. ओके, सो दीज आर द एरियाज ऑफ ऑपॉर्च्युनिटीज विच यू कॅन गेट इफ यू complete either a CA or a company secretary or cost and management accountant. Okay, then what are the focus areas? We have already seen this. CA focuses on the accounting, tax and audit. Then a company secretary mostly focuses on the laws and company laws, and CMA focus on the stock audit and cost audit part, that is costing area, especially in the manufacturing organizations. Okay, now there is a certain equivalence to the CMA in abroad also. Now if you become a CA in India, then you cannot directly get the job on the basis of CA qualification in USA. जर तुम्हाला US मध्ये जॉब करायचा असेल तर तुम्हाला इथलं जे CA आहे ते चालत नाही क्वालिफिकेशन. तिथे तुम्हाला CA च्या इक्विव्हॅलंट एक जो कोर्स आहे सर्टिफाईड पब्लिक अकाउंटंट CPA, तो क्वालिफाय व्हावा लागतो, तरच तुम्ही US मध्ये ऍज अ CA म्हणून काम करू शकता. ओके, आणि CMA जर बघितलं तर CMA ची डिग्री UK आणि UAE मध्ये इक्विव्हॅलंट आहे. ओके, सो दिस इज द इक्विव्हॅलन्स ऑफ ऑर द इंटरनॅशनल ऍक्सेप्टन्स ऑफ द CMA डिग्री. म्हणजे आपल्या इथलं जर तुम्ही CA इंटरमिजिएट क्वालिफाय झालात, then you will be considered as a bachelor's degree standard. Okay, same as the bachelor's degree standard according to the UK qualifications. Okay, आणि जर तुम्ही CMA फायनल पण क्रॅक केली, then you will be considered as the master's degree according to the UK qualification standards. आणि सगळ्यात महत्वाचं फ्रॉम द टीचिंग पॉइंट ऑफ व्ह्यू, या सगळ्यामध्ये आपलं जे UGC आहे, युनिव्हर्सिटी ग्रँट्स कमिशन, त्यांनी आता प्रत्येक कोर्सला CA, CS आणि CMA ला पोस्ट ग्रॅज्युएशनचं रेकग्निशन दिलेलं आहे. म्हणजे जर तुम्ही CA झालात किंवा CS झालात किंवा CMA झालात तर तुम्ही PhD ला रजिस्ट्रेशन करू शकता. बिकॉज फॉर रजिस्टरिंग द PhD यू आर रिक्वायर्ड टू बी अ पोस्ट ग्रॅज्युएट. ओके, यातलं काही जरी झालं तरी तुम्ही डायरेक्टली PhD ला ऍडमिशन घेऊ शकता. बिकॉज नाउ दीज क्वालिफिकेशन्स आर रेकग्नाइज्ड बाय द युनिव्हर्सिटी ग्रँट्स कमिशन and you can get registration to the PhD course on the basis of CA CS or CMA. Okay. And the last part in this is that the international acceptability of the CS. Now the Indian company secretary can also work in the Society of Corporate Governance in USA. Okay. Now for company secretary, it is not compulsory to give any other exam in the US like the CPA course. Okay. And the ICSI Institute has also associations with certain international organizations. Okay. So this was about the international acceptability of CS. So with this, we have completed the CS CMA part. CS CMA part of the information regarding these examinations. Now the next part which I would be covering today quickly would be the other banking part. Okay, so just wait for a few minutes. दूसरा है Okay, now we'll quickly talk about the other banking part. Now in the previous lecture, 2 days before in our lecture series, our guest faculty, that is Shri Prashant Gite sir, nicely covered the banking exam aspects related to the public sector banks. म्हणजे नॅशनलाइज आणि पब्लिक सेक्टर बँक्स ज्या आहेत तो पार्ट प्रशांत गीते सरांनी अतिशय छान पद्धतीने कव्हर केलेला आहे. Now I'll just talk quickly about the other bank exams and its recruitment process. In this, I would be basically covering the private sector banks, the cooperative banks, and of course the foreign banks. Okay. Okay. Now what is basically a private sector banks? Private sector banks are those in which more than 50% shares are held by the government of are held by the private people. Okay. That is why these are called as the private sector banks, and main aim of private sector banks is to earn profit. Okay. Now the popular private sector banks which are present in India currently are we can see every day is Axis Bank, HDFC Bank, ICICI Bank, and Kotak Mahindra Bank, amongst others. These are considered to be the private sector banks. Okay. म्हणजे ज्या बँकेमध्ये 50% जास्ती शेअर्स प्रायव्हेट पीपल किंवा प्रायव्हेट कंपनीज हेल्ड करतात, एंटरप्रेनर्स हेल्ड करतात, त्यांना आपण प्रायव्हेट सेक्टर बँक म्हणतो. त्याच्यानंतर कोऑपरेटिव्ह banks are basically formed by voluntary association of members coming together, and the main intention behind cooperative bank is to provide the financial help to the needy people. Earning profit is not the main aim of cooperative bank. And next is the foreign banks. Now, which are basically, who are the foreign banks? Foreign banks म्हणजे काय? Foreign banks are those banks whose headquarters or corporate offices are located in other foreign country, but they also operate in India. म्हणजे ज्या बँका ज्यांचं हेड ऑफिस किंवा कॉर्पोरेट ऑफिस फॉरेन कंट्री मध्ये असतं, पण त्यांच्या ब्रांचेस इंडियामध्ये सुद्धा असतात. दोज आर कॉल्ड ॲज फॉरेन बँक्स. So you can also get an opportunity in either these private sector bank or a cooperative bank and also foreign bank also. मग फॉरेन बँक्स मध्ये कुठले कुठले येतात? फॉर एक्झाम्पल HSBC, that is Hong Kong Shanghai Bank of Commerce, then the Standard Chartered Bank and Citi Bank. Okay. Now talking about the recruitment process for some of the private sector banks, if we take the example of HDFC Bank, now HDFC Bank doesn't take the written examination like the nationalized bank. HDFC काय करते, रिटन एक्झामिनेशन शक्यतो घेत नाही जसं बाकीच्या नॅशनलाइज बँका घेतात. तर तुम्हाला काय करायला लागतं, HDFC बँकेची जी वेबसाईट आहे तिथे करिअर्स सेक्शन जे आहे तिथे तुम्हाला ऍडव्हर्टाइजमेंट दिल्या जातात. रिक्रुटमेंटच्या व्हेरियस पोझिशन्सच्या ऍडव्हर्टाइजमेंट्स येतात. त्याला तुम्हाला अप्लाय करावं लागतं, तुमचा बायोडेटा अपलोड करावा लागतो. त्याच्यानंतर जे ब्रँचचे लोक आहेत दे स्क्रुटिनाइज, दॅट इज चेक युअर ऍप्लिकेशन अँड बायोडेटा, and if your CV, that is biodata, gets shortlisted, then you are called for the interview, and if you are selected from the interview, then you are eligible to become a officer or clerk. Okay, मग तुम्हाला ऑफिशियली जॉब मिळतो. आता इंटरव्ह्यूचे सुद्धा जनरली ते 2 स्टेजेस घेतात. एक आहे बेसिक इंटरव्ह्यू आणि दुसरा आहे तो ऑपरेशन्स इंटरव्ह्यू. ऑपरेशन्स इंटरव्ह्यू म्हणजे काय की तुम्हाला ज्या पोझिशनसाठी बोलवलेला आहे, फॉर एक्झाम्पल क्लेरिकल पोझिशन असेल किंवा ऑफिसर्सची पोझिशन असेल, तर त्याच्या रिलेटेड जे तुम्हाला काम करणं अपेक्षित आहे बँकेत जॉईन झाल्यानंतर, तर त्याच्या रिलेटेड क्वेश्चन्स तुम्हाला विचारले जातात. दिस इज द ऑपरेशन्स इंटरव्ह्यू. You can also call it as a technical interview, and if you are able to crack both the rounds of interview, you are selected or placed in the HDFC bank. Okay, now the website for reference is the hdfcbank.com/personal/about us and in the career section. म्हणजे HDFC बँकेच्या ज्या काही रिक्रुटमेंटच्या ऍडव्हर्टाइजमेंट्स येतात, मग त्या ऑफिसर असो किंवा क्लेरिकल असो, या सगळ्या ऑफिशियल वेबसाईटवर येतात. ओके, सो यू हॅव टू remain in contact with the HDFC bank. So this is also a very good private sector bank in which you can try for the job opportunity either as an officer or clerical. Okay, आणि साधारण इथे क्रायटेरिया एलिजिबिलिटी कशी असते, तर ग्रॅज्युएट्स किंवा पोस्ट ग्रॅज्युएट लागतात. पर्सेंटेजचं एवढं हे नसतं. ओके, आता हे महत्वाचं आहे. यू नीड टू बी अलर्ट इन दिस. आता सध्या काय झालेलं आहे, तुम्हाला फ्रॉड मेल्स येतात किंवा फोन येतो आणि तुमच्याकडे तुमचे डिटेल्स मागितले जातात आणि जॉब तुम्हाला ऑफर केलेला आहे किंवा जॉब तुम्हाला ऍक्च्युअली दिलेला आहे प्रायव्हेट सेक्टर बँक्स मध्ये, असे तुम्हाला फेक मेसेजेस किंवा मेल्स येतात. तर यांना बळी पडू नका. प्लीज डू नॉट गेट चीट बाय these fraudulent emails. First verify from where the mails or the messages have come. So HDFC Bank doesn't send any such mails. They only post their recruitment advertisements on their websites only. आणि तिथूनच तुम्हाला अप्लाय करणं अपेक्षित आहे. कुठली तरी लिंक तुम्हाला आली मेलवर किंवा तुमच्या मेसेजवर, तिथून तुम्ही अप्लाय करू शकत नाही. यू हॅव टू गो टू द ऑफिशियल वेबसाईट ऑफ एनी प्रायव्हेट सेक्टर बँक, go in the career section and then you have to apply. Okay, now talking about the certain other examples of private sector banks like Axis and ICICI. Now some banks like these Axis and ICICI, they also have their own recruitment process. Basically what does the ICICI bank do? They have their industry academic partners. So the interested candidates who want to pursue a job in the ICICI bank for certain positions, they have to take the training in one of these partners. ICICI have tie-ups with these academic partners like NIIT, IFBI, then Times Pro, then TVS Training and Services, ITM Edutech Training. ज्याच्यातलं कुठल्या तरी इन्स्टिट्यूट मध्ये तुम्हाला ट्रेनिंग घ्यावं लागतं. अँड रिमेंबर दॅट दिस इज अ पेड ट्रेनिंग. हे जे ट्रेनिंग आहे ते पेड ट्रेनिंग आहे, याचे तुम्हाला चार्जेस द्यावे लागतात. आणि इथनं तुम्ही ट्रेनिंग सक्सेसफुली कंप्लीट केलं, देन यू आर प्लेस्ड इन एनी ब्रँच ऑफ द ICICI बँक. हे जर तुम्ही ट्रेनिंग सक्सेसफुली कंप्लीट केलं तर ICICI बँक तुम्हाला काय करते, त्यांच्या कुठल्या तरी ब्रँच मध्ये जॉब ऑफर करते. पण याच्यासाठी तुम्हाला हे एस्पेशली ज्या काही पोझिशन्स आहेत ICICI बँकेत त्यांच्यासाठी हे त्यांनी ट्रेनिंग प्रोग्राम्स ठेवलेले आहेत. एस्पेशली जे सेल्सच्या पोझिशन्स असतात किंवा मार्केटिंगच्या पोझिशन आहेत किंवा कस्टमर रिलेशनशिप मॅनेजर म्हणून एक पोझिशन आहे, त्यांच्यासाठी हे त्यांनी पेड ट्रेनिंग प्रोग्राम्स ठेवलेले आहेत. आणि जनरल ज्या रिक्रुटमेंट पोझिशन आहेत म्हणजे ऑफिसर आणि क्लर्क, त्याला प्रोसेस सेम HDFC सारखी असते. शक्यतोवर एक्झाम होत नाही, डायरेक्टली इंटरव्ह्यू कंडक्ट केला जातो आफ्टर शॉर्टलिस्टिंग युअर CV. ओके, म्हणजे हे जे पेड ट्रेनिंग प्रोग्राम्स आहेत हे मेनली कोणासाठी आहेत? मार्केटिंग पोझिशन, सेल्स पोझिशन आणि CRM पोझिशन, दॅट इज कस्टमर रिलेशनशिप मॅनेजर. ओके, आणि खाली वेबसाइट्स दिलेल्या आहेत, यू कॅन रेफर द वेबसाइट्स ऑफ दीज बँक्स. ओके, so this was about the private sector banks. Now next is the cooperative banks. आता cooperative बँकेत सुद्धा चांगल्या जॉब ऑपॉर्च्युनिटीज आहेत. फॉर एक्झाम्पल सारस्वत कोऑपरेटिव्ह बँक. Now you can also get a good opportunity in Saraswat Cooperative Bank. Now if you observe carefully, the recruitment process of the cooperative banks and nationalized bank is similar with each other. म्हणजे जसं पब्लिक सेक्टर बँकेच्या बाबतीत एक्झाम आणि इंटरव्ह्यू घेतले जातात, तसंच कॉपरेटिव्ह बँक्सच्या बाबतीत सुद्धा आधी एक्झाम घेतली जाते आणि जर ती एक्झाम तुम्ही क्वालिफाय केली तर तुम्ही इंटरव्ह्यू साठी एलिजिबल असता. पण प्रायव्हेट सेक्टर बँकांमध्ये बघितलं तर तिथे अशी काही डिफाईन्ड रिक्रुटमेंट प्रोसेस नाहीये. कधी ते एक्झाम घेऊ शकतात, कधी ते घेत नाहीत. पण जर तुम्ही मोस्टली कॉपरेटिव्ह बँक्स बघितला, फॉर एक्झाम्पल सारस्वत कॉपरेटिव्ह बँक, तर तुम्हाला आधी रिटर्न टेस्ट द्यावी लागते, IBPS किंवा SBI सारखी एंट्रन्स एक्झाम, आणि जर ती तुम्ही क्वालिफाय झालात देन यू आर एलिजिबल टू अपियर फॉर द इंटरव्ह्यू. ओके, तर ही गोष्ट लक्षात ठेवा. नाव द एलिजिबिलिटी क्रायटेरिया फॉर अप्लाइंग इन अ सारस्वत कोऑपरेटिव्ह बँक इज कॅन्डिडेट्स विथ फर्स्ट क्लास और सेकंड क्लास इन ग्रॅज्युएशन ऑफ कोर्स. ओके, आणि एज लिमिट जे आहे अप्लाय करण्यासाठी या सगळ्याच बँकांचं ते साधारण 20 to 30 इयर्स आहे. जर तुम्ही ऑफिसरच्या पोझिशन साठी करत असाल तर ते 30 इयर्स पर्यंत आहे. क्लेरिकल पोझिशन असेल तर अबाउट 27-28 इयर्स मॅक्झिमम एज आहे. सो बिटवीन 20 and 30 इज द एज क्रायटेरिया. द रेंज ऑफ एज इज 20 to 30 इयर्स फॉर मोर ऑर लेस सेम फॉर ऑल दीज बँक्स. ओके, now there is a two-way process of recruiting the candidates in the junior clerical cadre as well as officers cadre. For in respect of Saraswat Cooperative Bank, first step is the online test like the IBPS. If you clear the online test, you are eligible for interview, and if you crack the interview, then you finally get placement in the Saraswat Bank. आता याच्यात एक गोष्ट तुम्ही नोट डाऊन करा, कधी कधी इंटरव्ह्यूच्या ऐवजी दे ऑल्सो कंडक्ट ग्रुप डिस्कशन ऑल्सो. कधी कधी इंटरव्ह्यू न घेता ते डायरेक्टली ग्रुप डिस्कशन कंडक्ट करतात, and from the group discussion you are selected for the job. So be prepared for group discussion also. This depends on the bank's policy. I am talking about Saraswat Bank. Okay, so this is the two-step process of recruitment in Saraswat Cooperative Bank. Now talking about the subjects for the online test in Saraswat Cooperative Bank. In all there are 4 subjects. Now this is mostly similar to the IBPS, SBI and RBI exams. First subject is the financial awareness, especially related to the banking. Then comes the general English. Then is the reasoning ability and computer aptitude. And next is the quantitative aptitude. This is mostly similar to the IBPS, SBI and RBI entrance examinations. Okay, you have to clear this exam, then only you are eligible for either interview or group discussion. Okay, so this is the Saraswat Cooperative Bank exam pattern and subjects. Okay, now talking about the other example of other cooperative bank, if we see the example of Shamrao Vittal Cooperative Bank, this is also considered to be a good cooperative bank, also called as SVC Bank. Now for this the bank recruits the clerical and trainee officers position like the other private and cooperative banks. Now the Shamrao Vittal Cooperative Bank post the vacancies again on website. या सगळ्या बँकांच्या ज्या रिक्रुटमेंट ऍडव्हर्टाइजमेंट्स असतात त्या त्यांच्या रिस्पेक्टिव्ह वेबसाइट्स वर असतात. ओके, तुम्ही दुसऱ्या कुठल्याही याला बळी पडू नका. कुठलाही मेल किंवा कुठलाही मेसेज थ्रू तुम्ही इथे अप्लाय करू शकत नाही. जरी तुम्ही काही हे केलं, then you are not considered as valid for application. Okay, so only see the official website of a private sector or cooperative bank. Okay. Then talking about the other cooperative bank as an example, again this is also a good cooperative bank, the Thane Janta Sahkari Bank Limited. Now again, the eligibility criteria for applying for the recruitment process is completion of graduation from the recognized university, and the age limit for getting job in either clerical or officer's position is commonly between 20 and 30 years. 30 years is for the officer position, 28 years is for the clerical position. And again, talking about the recruitment process of the TJSB, that is Thane Janta Sahkari Bank, the candidates are shortlisted on the basis of online test, and then the interview is conducted. Again, in this case, if you want a job in Thane Janta Sahkari Bank, you have to crack first the online test, and then you are eligible for appearing for the interview. And only refer the official website of Thane Janta Sahkari Bank. Okay. Okay, and talking about the exam pattern and subjects for the Thane Janta Sahkari Bank, again it is also similar to the IBPS and SBI examination. There are 4 subjects. First is of course the reasoning, then comes the English language, then comes the general awareness. Now in this general awareness part, main focus is given on the banking awareness or financial awareness. या जनरल अवेअरनेस मध्ये तुम्ही कुठलीही बँकची एक्झाम घ्या, जनरल अवेअरनेस मध्ये मेन फोकस जो असतो तो बँकिंग किंवा फायनान्शियल अवेअरनेस वर असतो. बिकॉज ॲज यू आर गोइंग इन अ बँक, you must be aware about certain things about finance and banking aspect. And the last subject in this exam is the quantitative aptitude. So this is mostly similar to other bank exams. Okay, so this was about the cooperative banks and their recruitment process. Then we are coming to the last point, that is the recruitment process in the foreign banks like Standard Chartered or Citibank or even the Deutsche Bank. Now, the process of hiring the candidate in these foreign banks is mostly similar to the private sector banks. They do not often conduct the written examination. They publish their recruitment advertisements on their website. Then you are required to apply on the website by giving your application and your biodata. Then your biodata and application is shortlisted by the bank officials, and if you are found eligible from the biodata, you are called and shortlisted for the interview. Then your interview is taken. Now in these foreign banks, there are also certain parts of interview, that is they can take a small aptitude test during the interview process also. So if you crack the aptitude test, you are called for the interview. Again, there are 2 rounds of interview, basic round and the technical round of interview. And if you are able to clear all these steps in the foreign banks, then you are finally ready to go into any foreign banks. म्हणजे जर तुम्ही हे केअरफुली बघितलं अदर बँकिंग ऍस्पेक्टचा, ज्या प्रायव्हेट सेक्टर बँक्स आहेत आणि कोऑपरेटिव्ह बँक फॉरेन बँक्स आहेत, त्यांची रिक्रुटमेंट प्रोसेस मोर ऑर लेस सिमिलर असते. ते जास्ती एक्झाम्स घेत नाहीत. दे मेनली रिलाय ऑन द इंटरव्ह्यू. आणि जर तुम्ही कोऑपरेटिव्ह बँक्स बघितल्या तर त्या रिटर्न टेस्ट घेतात, आणि ते जर तुम्ही क्लिअर झालात तर तुम्ही इंटरव्ह्यूला एलिजिबल होऊ शकतात. ओके, सो विथ दिस वी आर अबाउट टू एंड आवर लॉंग प्रेझेंटेशन कन्सिस्टिंग ऑफ CACS and also the other banking aspects. So I would like to thank all the students for so much patience listening and cooperating with me. And most importantly, I am again thanking, I would also like to thank Tanuja Devi ma'am and Shri Sumit Gaikwad sir for seeing me capable and giving me an opportunity to give certain information and guide you all students regarding the other banking aspects, and also of course the professional examinations like the chartered accountant, the company secretary and cost and management accountant. So with this I declare my session as over. So I'll hand over the session to Tanuja Devi ma'am. Thanks once again. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. It was very nice and explanatory presentation. Now I request Atul Jadhav sir to explain about SET examination, which is conducted by Maharashtra State. That is eligibility for lectureship. So students can study this particular, competitive examination in their undergraduate level as well. Over to Jadhav sir.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am.
Yes. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Let me just share the screen. Okay, hello everyone. Good morning to all of you. As in the starting of the lecture, we have learned about what is NET examination, right? So NET examination is National Eligibility Test, right? So in the similar line, at the state level, we are having state eligibility test, right? It is SET examination, and it is exclusively conducted for assistant professor, right? So now we'll see what are the differences between NET and SET examinations, and we'll also see various details of the SET examinations, right? First of all, let me just tell you that SET examinations is mandatory, right? And it is the basic eligibility criteria for assistant professorship, right? And as NET examination is applicable for all over India, right? If you are appearing for the SET examination and you are qualified, you will be eligible for getting job in colleges and universities across the Maharashtra, right? So its eligibility is only applicable under the state of Maharashtra, right? If you are cleared with the SET examination, you can also apply for various posts like assistant professor, research assistant, coaching tutors, right? And also project assistant and associate, right? So these are various opportunities you can grab here, right? Now we will see about the examination. So the state eligibility test is conducted in offline mode, right? On OMR sheet, right? So it is not an online mode, right? It will be one day will be decided by the university, and then it will be conducted, right? Let me just tell you that our Savitribai Phule Pune University, that is SPPU, is the nodal agency for conducting Maharashtra State, right? Hence, to apply for SET examination, you will have to go on this particular website, right? This SET examination is conducted once in a year, right? So from 2015, it is being conducted once in a year, right? You can check these dates in various years on what date it was conducted, right? You can see the month is not fixed yet, right? The month can vary, right? So the updated calendar of SET examination can be checked on this particular website, right? You can go through and you can check about the upcoming examination, right? Let me just tell you about this year examination, right? So due to some technical reason, it is not being conducted, right? The details will be intimated to you, right? Then this is about fees for open category. The fees for application is 800 rupees, and for all reserved categories, it is 650 rupees. Okay. Now we'll see about the eligibility criteria, right? So there are certain eligibility criteria. First of all, that you should have a master's degree or equivalent master's degree recognized by UGC in the subject of your SET, right? So to choose a particular subject, that is specialization for SET examination, you should only choose which was in your post graduation, right? So that is your subject eligibility. The candidates can appear for SET in the subject of post graduation subjects only, right? Which are those subjects? We will see there are 32 subjects there, right? Apart from that, in your master's degree, you should secure the required marks of 55% minimum for general category, right? If you are in reserved category, you should have minimum 50% marks, right? Then only you are eligible, right? Then there is no age limit for SET examination, right? So at whatever age you can appear for this particular examination. Just the criteria that you should have your post graduation completed, right? Apart from that, let me just tell you, even though your post graduation is not completed or the result is not with you at this moment, then also in the last 2 semesters of your 4 semester master's program or in the last year of your 2 years master's program, you can also appear for the SET examination. Just the condition is that you should present your master's result or your master's degree right from the since the 2 years from the date of declaration of your SET results, right? So from if today today you are qualifying as today if you are being qualified as SET exam, then after 2 years from this particular date you should present your master's degree, right? So this is eligibility, and that also you need to also fulfill this required marks criteria. Okay, now we'll see about the SET examination. Right, the examination is completely objective mode, right, where there will be MCQs, right. Now we'll see about the pattern, right, scheme of the examination. The test will be conducted in 2 papers, right, and both papers will consist of only objective questions, and all questions are compulsory over here, right. Now you can see here that there will be paper 1 and paper 2. In paper 1 you will see that there are 50 MCQ questions, right. Per question will be for 2 marks each. It will be total 100 marks, and that will be for 1 hour, right. Paper 2 will be for 100 questions, right, for 2 marks each, and it will be of total 200 marks. Okay, and the total time will be 2 hours, right. In paper 1 you will see that it is of the general paper on the teaching and research aptitude, right. But apart from teaching and research aptitude, there are various general awareness kind of topics there. We will also see that, right. This is the pattern of this subject as I discussed. You can see which are the topics there. See, first topic is research aptitude and teaching aptitude, right. Then there is comprehension. There will be a passage on which there will be 4 to 6 questions, right. And then there is communication, right. And then these are 3 topics, right. Mathematical reasoning and aptitude, logical reasoning and data interpretation, right. So for which you should have your logical and mathematical reasoning stronger. And then we have last 3 topics, that is ICT, people development and environment, and higher education system. You can also relate all these topics through whatever the studies you have gone through till today, right. Just like mathematical reasoning and aptitude, for any entrance examination you require this, right. Communication, actually this is what you are learning in your graduation course also, right. And in ICT, then environment, people development, higher education program, higher education system, all these topics are actually covered in your education also, right. So in your academic also you can prepare for this, right. About environment, you can also refer whatever the environment course you are currently going through in your second year, right. And this is what about your paper 1, right. It is for 100 marks, right. Now we'll see about the paper 2, right. In paper 2 you will see that in paper 2 it will be a subject of your master's degree, right. For paper 2 you can only choose the subject which was in your post graduation. If your post graduation subject is not enlisted in the subject list of the SET, that time you can also choose a subject which is related or equivalent to that particular subject, right. So this is the list of 32 subjects, right, in which you can appear for the SET examination, right. So I think that there are certain subjects which you can find more relatable to your academic background, just like economics, computer science and applications, commerce, management, right. So these are various subjects. Apart from that, whichever the subject you are completing your post graduation, you can choose the relatable subject of your choice, right. Now apart from that, I have also brought some topics of your syllabus which will be there in your paper 2, right. So you can just see which are the points there which are asked in the SET examination, and right from now also you can start focusing more upon these points, right. So you will see that every point here, right, every unit here which is being enlisted here, you will see that all these topics are being covered here in your graduate program also, right. So organizational behavior, human resource management, accountancy, finance, strategic management, marketing, statistics and data management, then international business and entrepreneurship development, right. So these are all the topics which will be there in your management SET, right. And for appearing for this management SET, you should have MBA degree, right. Then for commerce set, right, if you are doing MCom after your BBA, at that time you should have this particular, that time you will have this many topics there in your state examination, just like business environment and international business, accounting and auditing, business economics, business finance, business statistics, then research methods, business management and human resource management, then banking and financial institutions, marketing management, legal aspects of business, income tax and corporate tax planning, right? So these are various topics which you can focus upon that. Then after your BBA, if you are more interested in economics, that time you can also choose for MSc Economics or MA Economics. There you will find these many topics for in the state examination, right? So this is microeconomics, macroeconomics, statistics and econometrics, then mathematical economics, international economics, public economics, then money and banking, growth and development economics, environmental economics and demography, and Indian economy, right? So these are various topics. And if you are a BBA CA student, and if you are pursuing your MCA, that time these are various topics there: discrete structure and optimization, computer system architecture, programming language and computer graphics, database management systems, system software and operating system, software engineering, data structure and algorithms, theory of computation and compilers, data communication and computer networks, and artificial intelligence, right? And now you can also see what was the cutoff there, right? Because for targeting any examination, you should first understand what was the cutoff, what was the previous year cutoff, right? So the cutoff of 2021 examination, right? You can see here that of the general category, the highest cutoff was 60, 55.33, and 57.33, right? So you can just take a consideration that it is near around 60%, right? So if the total marks are 300, out of which you are getting 600 marks, you are getting 60% marks. So you should score more than 180 marks, right? So just keep your target of 200 marks. At that time only it will be possible for you to achieve this target, right? Now, how to prepare for this? Let me just tell you. First of all, you should have the syllabus of state examination with you, right? For every subject, the syllabus is given on the state examination, right? So you can go through that particular syllabus. Then you can have the previous year question papers, right? Right from 2011, all the previous year question papers are uploaded to SPPO state examination website, right? You can go through and find out which were the questions there. You can solve all the previous year question papers, and then only you will be able to understand what are the topics which you can you should cover there, right? Then apart from that, let me just tell you which is very important for you from right now, that you should start referring standard reference books, right? Instead of referring to some notes of a particular person or some coaching class notes or also some textbooks, it is always advisable for you that you should use standard reference book. The list of the standard reference book is given at the backside of your syllabus. You can go there and check which are the reference books, and from right now you should make that habit that you will use only standard reference book, just because every paper is also, the paper of state examination is also designed in such a way that every year you will find that there is something new in the examination, right? And if you are not reading your core reference books, then it will not be possible for you to achieve good marks there, right? Then last one is that after studying your standard reference book, you should also make your self-made notes, right? Your handwritten notes. And the last one is that you should also attend various mock tests, right? So this is something, a strategy which you can apply over here. And apart from that, this is my advice to all of you, is that if you are preparing for any competitive examination, not only for SAT, right, instead of just making study timetable, right, in that just like in this particular day I will study for these many hours, right? So this is not a timetable, right? If you want to qualify any competitive examination, that time you should make study completion timetable, right? Just like on this particular day, I will complete this particular topic of the syllabus, right? This is only way this is how you will be able to cover a whole syllabus, right, within the stipulated time, right? So this is what a way which you can apply there, right? This is all about state examination. If you're having any kind of doubt here, you can raise.
Okay, is there anyone having any doubt? Students, if you have any doubt, please you can ask them in the chat box or you can unmute and speak. Okay, so if anyone is not having any doubts, please okay, so if you are not having any doubt, we can conclude the session. Let's conclude the session with a formal vote of thanks. I would like to thank today's speakers, Ashlesha Deshpande madam, Saurabh Joshi sir, and Atul Jadhav sir for your contribution and guidance to our students. I would also like to thank our principal and former Pro Vice Chancellor of Savitribai Phule Pune University, Dr. N.S. Umrani sir. I am also thankful to Sumit Gaikwad sir and Dr. Tanuja Devi ma'am for their constant support. With that, I would also like to thank our students for joining in today and listening with the patience. Thank you so much, everyone. I am declaring that the session is over and you may leave the meeting.